Hey, it's Krish from Genesis Leads, and thank you so much for taking the time to watch this quick demo on our AI SMS appointment setting bot. So the purpose of the bot is to save you time in back and forth conversations with prospective clients and new leads that come through. I've had countless conversations with many mortgage brokers all over the country, and everybody has told me the same thing. They simply don't have enough time in their day or in their week to call the clients or call the leads multiple times. So this bot will really help alleviate some of that stress that you might be having to deal with at the moment. One of the biggest benefits about this bot is it actually can follow up with the leads if that lead stops replying to one of the text messages within the AI sequence. The AI has been set up in such a way where each message is personalized to the lead, specifically based on the questions that they've already answered when they come through the funnel, and also any other specific questions that you want to ask. Okay, so the example that I'm going to show you today is very high level. If you would like to see something a little bit more detailed, specifically built for yourself, please feel free to get in touch with me directly. And I'd love to jump on a quick 15-minute call and show you how that could work. Okay, so as we can see here in this example, we've got Michael Smith, who's gone through our qualification funnel, and he's a first home buyer who's already answered a few questions on the front end. Okay, so he's seen the ad, whether that be on YouTube, on TikTok, or somewhere on Meta. He's clicked through on the ad and he's gone through the quiz. He's answered about 15 questions. In this specific example, I've only got 4 questions here just to sort of speed up the process of explanation. But some of those questions might be like, are you a first home buyer or a next home buyer? What's your annual income? Are you an AU citizen or permanent resident? And then also, what's your employment type? Okay, so what the assumption is here is that on the quiz itself, he's already answered these specific questions. And then once he's answered those questions, he then receives an automatic text message which goes through to his phone like this. Okay, so it says, "Hi, Michael, Irene from Loan Market here," assuming that this is a loan market broker that Michael's going to be dealing with. Just got your inquiry about a property loan. Can you please reply yes if this is your correct number? Okay, so that's going to be the first step. Now, what the client is then going to do is they're actually going to reply yes to this text message. Okay, as we can see here, this is now going to trigger an automatic text message from the AI bot, which is going to be sent out to Michael. Okay, the first question it's going to ask is, great, thanks for confirming. Just to get a better idea, when are you looking to purchase your property? So what it's trying to do here is it's trying to understand the purchase timeline question, okay? Once this is answered by the client, this will then automatically be filled in, and this is some of the extra information on the back end that gets qualified and then sent to the broker. So let's just say, for example, Michael says 3 months. Okay, so we can see the response from Michael is now 3 months, and the bot is now sending through the next response. Okay, thanks for that. Have you spoken to a broker before, or would this be your first time? So the next question it's trying to figure out here is, has the client spoken to a broker before? Okay, again, this information will be pre-filled before it's finally sent on the form through to the broker via email. As we can see here as well, the contact field has been updated, meaning this field for the contact, which is the purchase timeline, will be updated automatically. It's just because I haven't refreshed my screen that we don't see it at the moment. So I'm going to say this is my first time. Okay, and we can see the response here from Michael now says first time. Once again, the contact field has been updated, meaning that this field will now be updated when I refresh my screen. And then we have the final question, last one, do you have a deposit saved already, or are you still working on that? Okay. Now, one thing I just want to caveat before I continue is that these 3 questions are 100% customizable based on whatever specific questions that you would like to ask your client. Okay. Just for simplicity's sake, I've decided to ask these 3 specific questions, but really they can be whatever you want. Okay. And again, on the front end, on the form, we would very likely ask these questions anyway. And on the back end, when we're going through with the AI qualification, you might want to ask some more complex questions. But just for the sake of the demo, I'm trying to simplify it just to show you how the concept of everything would work. So let's say that he already has a deposit saved, so he can respond saying yes. And then we can see the final text messages come through from the AI, okay? Once it's got all the information that it needs to fill in all 3 of these fields, it's then finally going to ask the client what sort of time and day works best based on their schedule, okay? And the AI might do this one of 2 ways. Typically, it's going to try go for the next available, so it'll be like Monday the 9th of March at 10 or 10:30, right? Pretty much as soon as possible. If the client was to respond saying that doesn't work for me, then the AI would go back and forth and figure out a better time. But I'm just going to make this simple, and I'm just going to say 10 a.m. works for me. And what we can see here is that a new appointment has now been created. Okay, this is really important because there has been absolutely no human interaction at this point from the mortgage broker's side. It's purely just based on the AI automatically setting up those appointments. So now when I come through to my calendar and I look at Monday at 10 a.m., we can see here that that has now been booked in with Michael Smith, okay? So we can see it both on the CRM calendar and also on the Google Calendar or the Outlook calendar or whatever the case might be. And the final thing that's really important for you to see here as well is once the lead has been qualified through the AI, you as the mortgage broker will receive an email that will look similar to this, okay? And again, the email will have more information on it. Just for simplicity's sake, I've tried to keep this as brief as possible, but we can see here, first home or next home, which will be first home, 3 months, which was the first question we asked about timeline. Then we have the deposit saved being yes, and we also have the full-time spoken with broker, okay? The other questions that we see here would have already been asked on the form or on the quiz on the front end. The rest of them came through on the back. But this is one of the many reasons why we at Genesis Leads are able to qualify leads very, very vigorously before they land in your inbox, okay? These leads, be it first home buyer or refinance, will be 100% ready to speak with you as a broker. So that's everything from me today. Thank you so much for taking the time again to watch this quick demo. I really hope you got some value out of it. And if you would like to have a chat with me to see how we can help you generate some higher quality, high intent first home buyer and refinance leads, and how our AI SMS automation can help you put everything together, I'd love to chat with you about that as well. So the link is below. Please feel free to just book whenever you want, and I'll chat to you soon.